A 21-year-old US man has appeared in a Boston court charged with the Espionage Act. Jack Teixeira was arrested by the FBI yesterday after allegedly leaking highly classified US military documents online. Sky's Mark Stone has more.
It was a couple of hours ago now, 3 hours ago, that Jack Teixeira appeared for this first initial appearance. He was wearing a brown tan jumpsuit. He was handcuffed. The handcuffs were taken off him for the proceedings itself. There were three members of his family, three or so members of his family in court in the front row listening to the proceedings. Reporters in court said that one of those family members was said to be crying when he made eye contact with Mr. Teixeira as the handcuffs were being taken off. The judge then explained the charges against him, that he is charged with possessing classified documents pertaining to national security and possessing national defence materials. Now, those carry 10-year imprisonment terms. The question, of course, is whether or not the prosecution, when it presents its case, decides to push for those charges to relate to each individual document, which, if they do, and they're successful, then that is an awful long time in jail for this man if he is found guilty. There is going to be another hearing next week, next Wednesday. That is when bail discussions will take place, but for the time being, the handcuffs are back on. US Marshals took him away, and he will be remanded in custody until then. So that's the court appearance. Now this, alongside it, has been revealed, which is standard procedure when someone appears in court. The affidavit is released, is unsealed. This is effectively the FBI's justification for wanting us to carry out an arrest. And as always with these things, you get details of the investigation that the FBI has been carrying out. And among other things, it is clear now that on the 10th of April, so on Monday, the FBI had identified and interviewed a person they're describing as User 1, who is another person who was in this small chat group, which Mr. Teixeira is alleged to have been the leader of, the chat group into which the documents were first leaked. This individual, User 1, it is claimed, told the FBI that he knew what Mr. Teixeira looked like because he'd conducted video calls, among other things, with him. Interestingly, he said that Mr. Teixeira, the alleged leaker, explained that he had become concerned that he may be discovered making transcriptions of the text in the workplace. What Mr. Teixeira is alleged to have done is to written out copies of the documents and posted the text on this closed group. But it says when he became concerned he would be discovered, he began taking the documents themselves to his residence and photographing them. In terms of how the FBI carried out that arrest and were drawn to that property in Massachusetts yesterday, well, it's claimed here in this affidavit that they cross-referenced billing information with a user within that group and came up with a name, Jack Teixeira, and indeed an address, the same address where they arrested him. And lastly, a couple of other interesting points. In order to identify him, I thought this was interesting. They got hold of his driver's license. They showed that driver's license along with another unrelated driver's license or photographs on driver's licenses to their witness, User 1, a sort of lineup, if you like, an identity lineup of sorts, and User 1 identified Jack Teixeira. And very lastly here in this document, it does confirm what we have believed to be true, which is that Mr. Teixeira did hold top secret security clearance that was granted in 2021. More than that, though, he also had top secret clearance to what's known as sensitive compartmentalized access, SCI, which is very highly secure documents. Of course, the question's now, should he have had access to those documents, to that level of clearance? If not, how did he get it?